Guys, if we look at the market right now, and we look at all the movement that we've seen, one, it's phenomenal to see this level of movement. It's phenomenal to see Bitcoin hit new all-time highs and continue to strive forward. Um, however, however, this market is pretty scary. Why is this market scary? Because we've seen this episode, I don't know, 50 times at this point, where Bitcoin reaches a new all-time high. We see progression with altcoins, and then we see Bitcoin start to take a little bit of a turn. And once it takes that turn, everything else falls with it. Now, the problem with that is the fact that when Bitcoin moves 4% and it decreases, by a little bit, right? It already hit its all-time high and it's decreasing to what the previous all-time high was, or even the previous all-time high. But it's not decreasing to a lower low or a midpoint or anything. Right now, altcoins have not seen a major pump. And not seeing that major pump is what scares me because we could see a little bit more of a fall with altcoins than you do with Bitcoin, especially for the short term right now. So this market is completely scary. I'm going to go through why it's scary and go through the fear and greed index and what I'm doing in this moment. Guys, if you could hit that like button, hit the subscribe button, hit that notification bell for more of these videos. Also, make sure you check out some of the links down below. It does help out the channel. And if you guys want to follow me on Twitter, follow me on Patreon at Perry8K, you can follow me over there. Now, also, don't forget about my link for BTCC if you guys are interested in this platform. It honestly is a very, very good platform. You can get a 10% deposit bonus when you use my link down below. You can also get extra bonuses up to $10,055, 40% lower trading fees, and you can trade all the way up to a 500x leverage. So please, please, please check it out because it is a great platform, not just because it benefits me and my channel, which I am partnered with them. It's because it gives you the opportunity to leverage trade, to trade outright, to demo trade, to test your short-term strategies, and see if you can day trade within a market like today, right? Or a market like yesterday, or the market that we're currently in, right? It's technically a bull market, but can you trade actively? So, check it out. Link is at the top of the description. But like I said, this market kind of scares me. And the reason why it scares me is because things are moving to a higher level. But things are moving to a higher level primarily through Bitcoin, which means that you're seeing a lot of other things that are still kind of tailing Bitcoin, still following along, more like ducklings to the adult duck, right? That's the way it feels for altcoins right now. The current crypto market is at a $3.5 trillion market cap. Volume is up today. Bitcoin dominance is at about 3%. And you're seeing some major movement in major positions. Bitcoin up by 4%, hit a new all-time high of about $112,000. Phenomenal to see it at that level. We're starting to see a little bit of a turn in the last hour, which could lead to what I'm talking about here. XRP, it's up by 3.2%. You have BNB that's up by about 5%. Solana that's up by 6%. Dogecoin 6 or 7%, Cardano 6%, and so on and so forth, right? You have a lot of things that are up. Avalanche is up by 10%. Hype is up by 17 or 18%. Many things are up quite a bit. Now, it's not up enough to kind of justify, maybe what's happening with Bitcoin or the difference between Bitcoin there, because Bitcoin is obviously increasing in the overall market cap and the overall dominance for every other coin that's out there. Now, this is why this scares me. Bitcoin is at 110. We've seen this story before. Bitcoin got up to 100,000, decreased down from that all-time high. Everything else followed. Now, Bitcoin reaches a new all-time high. So when it drops down to $100,000, $90,000. No problem, right? It's still above its all-time high. However, you see things like Solana that is not at its all-time high, got to 178, now dropped down to 150 or 130 or 100. And now it's at a midpoint or even a low point compared to where we were or where we're going in the bull market. You see the same thing with Cardano. It hasn't reached $1 yet. And you know what? It's decreasing. It's going to decrease lower after Bitcoin sees this major jump. Now, there's always a chance that we could see it continue to pump and Bitcoin continue to pump, or the trickle down effect that happens now. But the likelihood of it happening, especially after seeing many times that this has happened, where Bitcoin gets up to a high, decreases down, everything else follows. So the fear is at a 73. Greed is at a 73, which is going to make people very, very fearful. Anybody that's an experienced investor will understand that you probably want to be a little fearful at this time and sell some of your short-term positions or do whatever you need to do. Now, I'm not telling you that you need to sell everything and that everything's going to collapse. You do whatever you feel is necessary, because there still is a chance that we could see greed get stronger and Bitcoin push up and many other things push up with it. We could see that. But right now it's getting me very fearful of what's going to happen in the market. So what I plan to do is this. I have a decent amount in cryptocurrency. I'm not planning on doing anything with my long-term positions. With my long-term or even short-term price positions, it's all based on, my exit plans are based on prices. So it's not based on where the market is, what the market is doing. It's based on prices. However, I do have a certain amount that's based on whether I am going to see the market increase or decrease. And that comes from BTCC. I have 3 trades that are in here that I think could go the opposite way. So I'm going to close all these out completely and, accept whatever gains I do have there. Now, XRP, seeing that gain, I'm going to go ahead and take that $17, which is not a crazy amount to risk 53 to gain 70, or 53 or 54 to gain 17. It's not necessarily the best situation, but I was up to 24 recently before I made this video. But let me close this out with a $17 gain. AVAX is up by 10%. I'm going to close that out with a $65 gain on that $50. I feel like that is a good play, gaining over 100%, 120% there. So I'm going to close that as well. And then I'm also going to look at CRO, which I feel as though could see, again, that significant decrease with everything else in the market. It's just something that makes me very fearful. Now, this is cutting my gain short because I could have gained so much more in the end, but I'm happy with what I gained there, right? If I go to trade history, I'm happy with what I gained here, right? $17, $32, and, well, actually, I don't know why this is not popping up with a gain yet. But it should have been these 3, where it's $60 that I gained, and then $12 there, or XRP is, $17. So we'll have to see how that updates, because it should update at some point. Let me refresh. But that's kind of what I'm doing, is anything that's my short-term plays, I'm deciding to, make a move and take my profit. See here, $36, $66, $17 worth of gains. And that's what you can gain, right? I risked $50 to gain 60, or $60 to gain 66. That's something that you can do in a leverage trade. I did a 10x leverage. If you know what you're doing, you can easily make money in these markets. And again, it makes me very fearful because we look at Bitcoin's chart. Right? If I look at Bitcoin's chart here, it's so far away from the 200 EMA as well as the 15 moving average or 50 moving average that it's just telling me that it's going to pull back to these levels. However, we're seeing a cross. We're starting to see that cross, which could lead to more bullish momentum, get up to 120, 130, 140,000. That's always a possibility. However, there's a lot of times where I've seen this story, I've seen the same story, and I know what the ending can be. So that's why I decided to take my move there, especially with all of this sell volume that's happening right now. Yeah. So anyways, guys, hit that like button. Let me know what you think about what's going on in the market. If we see that continue, we see it continue. If we see people that get behind it and get hype, then they do that. But I already have short-term gains, and all of my long-term positions are still in there, and it's all based on price movement. Guys, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. Check out my link for BTCC down below, and I'll catch you in the next one. See ya.